4.
This is DRL, the Drone Racing League. It may not be the end of the world.
Oh no!
But tonight, the world's best drone pilots must navigate and master the chaos of LApocalypse.
Anything could happen out here.
The track may be virtual, but the physics, the controller movements, and the racing are real. Let's go! This is drone racing.
It's crazy.
This is DRL. Welcome to the DRL Algorand World Championship, the premier international drone racing circuit. We have now arrived at Level 7 LApocalypse, the 5th virtual sim event of our hybrid season, and the racing is about to get underway. Hello everybody, alongside two-time DRL World Champion Evan Heads Up Turner, as well as drone racing pilot Tony Niddle. I'm Craig Hummer. Evan, there is no denying Halo Walker is coming off one of the most dominating performances DRL has ever seen, sweeping those Level 6 finals. But I think there's another notable storyline coming out of last night, and that's Alex FPV finally broke that hot and cold cycle he'd been on with his overall level finishes. So, which Alex are we going to see tonight?
My honest guess is we see the cold Alex tonight. This track is dark and filled with technical sections that Alex isn't notorious for enjoying, but more than anything, if he can make it to finals, it'll be a win for him.
TK, the pilots prepare for anything and everything. And that's a good thing, because in some ways, this track is almost the polar opposite of Level 6 last night.
Yeah, they've got their work cut out for them. This track's great, though. It's dark, dangerous, and aggressive. There's lots of obstacles, low-hanging ceilings. That just means that the margin for error is slim, and the pressure is even higher on this ever-so-chaotic track.
Well, you guys both seem to have darkness on your minds. Let's see what the pilots think and meet our semifinal 1 group. Pavelos over in Poland flies orange and white. Killian from France flies blue. Alex FPV in Tennessee flies red and blue. Singu in Europe in Spain flies orange. Maverick from California flies red. And Hyper in Florida flies green. Semifinal 1, Heat 1. Suit up. It is about to get nasty. They'll now head for a left turn through the points cache gate. An early lead for Pavelos. That was orange and white, but he drops down. Alex FPV now in the lead through the Algorand Power Loop.
The Algorand Power Loop is incredibly difficult. We're going to see pilots split up there and a lot of crashes. Coming through this T-Mobile gate, we're coming through the blind turns and lots of lit up pillars the pilots are avoiding through this tunnel.
Pavelos leads them through that Dragonfly Diamond. Here's where they'll drop under the I-5 sign. Now it sets up the interesting part. Wow, look at that as they're back through the U.S. Air Force gate, and Killian in blue is in the front.
Killian's line through the escalator section is impeccable. If he can hold it through this Algorand Power Loop section, it's just going to be about keeping it clean, and he will fly his way into the finals.
Killian blue in first, Pavelos orange and white in second. Here comes that up through the Google Cloud gate. Now they go through the Dragonfly Diamond. Killian and Pavelos still staying 1-2.
Killian's running out of time. The Level 6 semifinals didn't go his way, but he's got it here in the first heat of Semifinal 1.
Killian takes the win ahead of Pavelos.
Oh my gosh, Killian.
Good
Nice
job,
shot,
Killian.
Oh my goodness. Homeboy was gone on the first lap, dude.
Let's join the 4th
He was
member of our
gone.
team. Killian is with Layla Anna Lee.
Killian, a crisp, clean run. Tell me your thoughts on the course.
That is definitely my revenge from the last race where I crashed on the worst position possible. I'm just here to take my revenge, and I did pretty well on this one.
You did. Tell me, what do you think of the course?
The course pretty technical. You just need to be pretty consistent on it because you can make a mistake very easy on this one.
You mentioned that you were upset about the mistake that you made last time and that you're flying, I see, cautiously to an extent so that you don't make a mistake again. Are mistakes inevitable on such a technical course?
Mistake can happen every time. That's drone racing, and I'm just trying to avoid them.
You managed and you advanced. Thank you.
Thank you.
Very wise to minimize those mistakes. Killian does everything he needs to in semifinal 1, heat 1, winning in a time of 104.300. For more on that last heat, let's send it to TK.
The lap transition is the differentiator here. Take a look at Killian as he approaches this lap transition. He's got Pavelos in the orange drone right on him, Killian in blue. As they take the turn, you can see that Pavelos in orange has the lead. So Killian has to pull out some magic here on this lap transition. Watch how wide Pavelos goes in the orange drone, whereas Killian pulls the inside line, rotates sooner, and gets out of the turn a lot faster. Let's take a look at that FPV view on what it looked like from his eyesight view in the race. You can see here's Pavelos in front of Killian. He pulls in right in the corner of the edge of the opening, whereas Pavelos goes into a bigger sweep. It just doesn't work for him, but for Killian, he gets the win.
And Evan, this is what it looked like from Killian's point of view.
Lap 1, Killian certainly wasn't running away with it. We're seeing the red drone of Maverick, the orange drone of Pavelos, and my personal thinking, watching Pavelos run away with it that far in the beginning was, I thought it was over. Coming into this very, very important lap transition, Killian's line is different and it's simply better. I'm excited to watch the other pilots to see if they adapt to it, but here it comes. Killian does a left, a right, and boom. I don't think he saw another drone after that lap transition, and you only do the lap transition once. It's not this maneuver that you can try over and over again to try and catch up. You get one try per heat, so if you have a hot one, then you can win the heat right there, but if you aren't able to execute right there, you can lose the entire heat in one single element. Killian, again, talked about it in his interview. He is coming for revenge tonight, and he flies into the finish gate with passion.
He's the first to make sure he will move on to the finals, winning semifinal number 1, heat 1. All 12 pilots race each level. They're seeded into 2 semifinal groups, with the top 3 from each advancing to the finals. There, the winner of the Golden Heat will be your level champion. The pilots earn season points based on their overall level finish. The pilot with the most points at the end of the season is the DRL Algorand World Champion. Each heat is 2 laps around this LApocalypse track. TK, take us through it.
Pilots launch to the second floor through the U.S. Air Force gate, making a right to the points cache gate. Then it's a drop into the Algorand power loop and over the walkway to the T-Mobile gate. Pilots then head up through the Google Cloud gate and around the stairs through the Dragonfly Diamond. They dive under the interstate sign and around the escalator for lap 2, or turn toward the finish.
Killian came through heat number 1 with flying colors. Will the other pilots' colors find their way to the front?
The Algorand ecosystem is where monumental change takes shape. So come transform the world with us on Algorand.
We're here at the training facility with Gotham FC, and for the very first time, we're going to have the FPV drone on the field with the players as they're training. We're hoping to get some really unique shots and something you've never seen before.
The Drone Racing League, brought to you by Algorand, the world's most powerful and sustainable blockchain. By T-Mobile, stay connected with more 5G bars in more places. And by Points Cash, freedom to pay your way. Welcome back to Level 7 LApocalypse. We're one heat into our first semifinal, and Killian has already qualified for the finals. Here in the semifinals, they fly 3 regular heats, with each heat winner automatically advancing to the finals. Everyone else is subject to sudden death, where only the winner is guaranteed to advance. Evan, let's talk about Killian, specifically, right, the roller coaster that he and Layla discussed. A devastating exit from level 6 last night, but he promptly comes out and wins this first heat. Talk about, from a pilot perspective, that ebb and flow that you have to deal with.
Absolutely. From my experience, winning is awesome, but falling on your face and just getting embarrassed and then turning it around and coming back and winning, it's even better in my experience. Once everybody gives up on you, once everybody turns their head and is watching a Halo Walker or MCK and they've forgotten who Killian is, and you come back and say, hey, I'm still here and I've got something to prove. I think that's exactly what Killian just did, and it's one of the best feelings. If he can take that momentum and apply it to the rest of his flying tonight, I think he'll be lethal.
Semifinal 1, Heat 1. Navigate like you're the only one in the air. Quick turn through the U.S. Air Force gate. Now they go to that Points Cash gate. Alex FPV, red and blue out there. Pavelos, of course, the orange and white. Hyper in green gets close to second, but watch out for Killian in blue. There he is, right near the front.
There's a 3-way battle. Alex FPV, Killian, and Pavelos, they are all in a tight battle, also for seasonal points, so this is important far more than just this heat. Through the Dragonfly gate they go, and we are approaching this lap transition that we've talked about so much. Coming around this left turn, and here it is. Let's see who's got a faster one.
Killian does a great job, partner. Yeah, and thanks for noting that for our viewers, because Killian, just like in the first heat, was able to absolutely get distance on everybody else. Pavelos, now orange and white, has moved into second, but once again it seems like Heat 2 is a carbon copy of the first, as Killian trying to extend that lead. They'll go through that Dragonfly Diamond, drop under the I-5 sign, and that sets up the escalator, but this time you just run it into the finish, and Killian has gone back to back.
2 for 2? What did he run that time? It's nuts.
Wow.
Half a second.
Wow,
Killian get it?
Oh,
Killian get it?
Dude.
Thank you, Killian.
Run.
Yeah, thanks, Killian.
Thank you, Killian.
Holy.
Thanks, Alex.
Pavelos, good to speak to you. Now, earlier in your media interviews, I heard you say that you are a fast learner. What is it that you're learning from Killian at the moment? Because he's taking something different.
After qualifying, I switched my line because I actually got inspired by Killian. So I guess that's what I'm learning is you know, it's taking a little bit of time for me to do that line properly, but I think I'm slowly nailing it down.
How important is it as a pilot to adapt and to change when you spot at some good lines, and then to make sure that you're taking that line better than your competitors?
I mean, it's really important to be able to identify which line has the potential to be faster. So it's definitely really important because it's literally milliseconds that can make the difference. So it's incredibly important.
Pavelos, thank you.
Thank you.
You heard a lot of the pilots say thank you, Killian. I think it's because they see how fast he is and they'd like 2 spots to be available in sudden death. We know there will be a sudden death now that Killian won Heat 2 in a time of 104.042.
Killian taking advantage of those hurdles in the middle of this course, and as he approaches to that stairway turnaround, he gains a lot of speed in that blue drone. As you see, that red and blue drone of Alex swings wide. Let's go back into a closer look detail of it as these 2 pilots go almost blade to blade as they approach the bottom of these stairs. Look at the difference here. And Alex goes a little too on the inside on the start of the turn, and that causes him to swing wide on the exit. Meanwhile, Killian had a perfect setup and execution. He jumps to the front, and he'll remain there.
Well, TK was just noting Alex FPV. Evan, this is what it looked like for him.
This is a prime example of strengths and weaknesses on a course. We see Alex FPV pull away and maintain a lead in some sections, but in some of these, again, more technical parts of the track, pilots like Killian and Pavelos, who are so technically talented, quite honestly, they're able to pull away. What we're going to look for from Alex FPV is he's in the mix, but he just hasn't been able to figure out that lap transition that's allowing Killian and Pavelos to make the pass on him. If Killian gets another heat win, that will put it to a 2-person sudden death, which will play to Alex's advantage. But if Pavelos is able to sneak in a win over Killian, sudden death will be all very high stakes for Alex FPV because he's 1 mistake away from missing the finals, and that could be a very bad day for Alex's seasonal points.
I love that you just threw out all those scenarios because this leaderboard confirms what you were just saying, Evan. Killian's got 2 wins, still the only pilot to advance to the finals out of semifinal number 1. We know now we will have a sudden death. Hyper's name might actually be a bit ironic as he's one of the calmest and most calculating pilots on the flight deck. He also has some very personal reasons for his love of drone racing. Here's a closer look at why he flies, presented by Dragonfly.
I love the feeling of flight. I can't ride roller coasters, I can't do a lot of fun aerobatics in planes. I have vertigo. But when I'm flying FPV, I can sit still and still be flying. I'm not moving through space, I'm not moving through the air, I'm centered, I'm grounded, but I'm still experiencing flight. Some pilots will move their head around, they'll lean one way or the other, down, up, but I can't do that. I have to be very rigid, I have to be very postured when I'm flying. Drone racing is a really inclusive sport. Even with my issues that I've had that have prevented me from playing other sports, I was still able to get into drone racing and start to compete on the highest levels that I can.
Hyper, the only pilot left! The rookie will advance out of semifinal number 2.
There we go. When it counts, when it counts.
When I'm racing and when my heart is pumping, it really just reminds me that I'm in the zone, I'm there. It grounds me to the fact that this is really happening. Once those goggles go on, there's a lot of pressure, that's for sure. It's incredibly freeing for me.
Visit ProjectDroneGalaxy.com to join the Discord. Help name DRL and Algorand's fly-to-own game. Killian just confirmed his front-runner status. Can he continue his domination?
When I'm flying, I put my helmet on, my visor down, my mask up. You don't know who I am, whether I'm African American, Asian American, Hispanic, white, male or female. You just know I'm an American Airman kicking your butt. I'm General C.Q. Brown Jr. Come join us.
So I'm really excited to be out here today. We have a bunch of really awesome airmen who are going to show us around. We're going to get some hands-on time with a lot of the stuff that they get to use through their airman training, and I'm super excited for it.
It'll be interesting to see their perspective change a little bit with all of the different things we have planned on for today.
All right, welcome guys. This is the U.S. Air Force Centrifuge. Every pilot that's going to go off and fly fighters, they're going to come visit us. The device is capable up to 20 Gs. It would never spin to that with people inside of it. However, on the research side, we could spin 20 Gs with some equipment.
Running.
Oh my gosh.
Keep that trigger engaged, come down, stay tight, and...
Oh my gosh. No. Oh my goodness.
A Strong Lab is the Air Force's exercise science laboratory. Pulling G's requires holding on to a lot of isometric strength right in your core. Today we'll be measuring your power, body composition, how fast you recover, how well you move.
Go, 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 go.
Really?
Today we're going to do a couple different neuromodulation techniques that are going to help improve your flying performance.
Seeing the process and the preparedness that the airmen went through to go out and fly missions and figuring out like how can we integrate that into things that we're trying to do as professional drone racers, it's really exciting.
Collectively, we are going forward and being able to be the best pilots that we can be.
This is DRL, the Drone Racing League. Welcome back to Level 7 LApocalypse. We're 2 heats into Semifinal 1, and just Killian has qualified for the finals. We're at the halfway point of the 2022-2023 DRL Algorand World Championship season, and here is where things stand after 6 levels of racing. Halo Walker continues to hold on to that world #1 spot, now 11 points ahead of Alex FPV, who based on his last night's performance has moved 1 point ahead of MCK. Vanover and Pavelos now round out the top 5. Evan, speaking of Pavelos, he is now placed second 2 consecutive times, right behind Killian. Do you think he can find his way to first, or are we looking at 3 straight wins for the Frenchman?
One thing that is definitely not fun in drone racing is being in a semifinal where you have someone like Killian who is just on fire. It's really difficult to take someone like that out of their groove, and you're not just going to outrun Killian right now, I don't think. So Pavelos should put that tension on Killian. If he makes a mistake, then great, he'll take the win and go to finals. But if I were Pavelos right now, I would just keep the tension on him, prepare for that sudden death, and then just, get in, get out of the sudden death, and, settle that issue with Killian in finals.
Semifinal 1, Heat 3. Up here, traffic takes on a whole new meaning as they shoot for that points cash gate. An early lead for Killian in blue. Alex FPV, though, as we've seen in previous heats, he's right there near the front as they go through the Algorand power loop. But keep your eyes on Killian, as Evan has noted through that lap change.
hyper peeking his nose out there as well. And the green drone, he's someone we haven't talked about, which means he's the underdog. Sometimes that's more of an advantage than it is a disadvantage.
Underneath the I-5 sign, and here we come. Let's see what Killian can do. Oh, a pretty good job by Maverick on that heat. Killian with drone damage now. That's the blue drone. He will drop back. Pavellos sees his chance. The orange and white drone of Pavellos out in front.
This is Maverick's opportunity. He has crashed the last 2 heats, and if he can make up for Killian's mistake and get into finals, it would be a lifesaver.
But it's Pavellos doing what he needs to do. Now only a couple more elements to go. Once again, underneath the I-5 sign, it's the escalator and the straight shot into the finish. It is Pavellos who wins heat number 3.
Yup. So toxic.
Yup. That's how we do it, baby. That's how we do it, baby. Come on. Let's go. Easy money, just like that.
So in the media interviews, you say you learn fast. In our last interview, you said you think you've got it. You seem to walk the walk and talk the talk.
Yeah, just like you said, it was easy money.
It was absolutely fantastic. Tell me what you got right.
Like I said in my last interview, I was struggling with the lap transition. So just nailed that this time, and it was an awesome run.
And so what happens now? Have you sort of found your line, targeted it, and you're just going to try and remain consistent now?
Yeah, trying to remain consistent, and we'll see how Minchan does in the other heat, Minchan and Halo, and hopefully we can beat them in finals.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Layla.
Pavellos just called it an awesome run. Well, it certainly is the fastest run we have seen so far. Pavellos wins in 103.343.
One mistake, and it's all over. Take a glance here. Killian in blue as he takes his turn around the escalator, goes through a little wonky. He gets an unorthodox setup as he starts his rotation underneath the escalator. Well, Pavellos starts to take advantage of that. Let's jump into a closer look as Killian loses his edge. So Killian rounds the turn, and you can see he's already off his line as he's struggling to stay within the mark. Pavellos recognizes that, which means he's got an opportunity. The rest of the pack closes in on him, and Killian has already sustained damage from that. Now the pack just continues the race, and they'll get the pass.
Evan, during the race, you mentioned it was a chance for Maverick, but he saw a lot of drones in front of him.
In the pilot reaction after they finished the heat, you could see a clearly upset Maverick. When Killian's on his game like that, Maverick's not going to be able to outrun him. Killian was just hot. But when somebody like Killian does make that bobble, that's when the second and third, that second pack of pilots, that is the most valuable heat in the world for them. Luckily, Pavellos, or unluckily for Maverick, Pavellos was able to hold him off and take the win, getting in his, not free ticket, but getting his ticket into finals. And Maverick wanted it so badly. You'll see Maverick chasing down that orange and white drone of Pavellos, giving it everything he could on every single turn. Unfortunately, it just wasn't enough. But if you want to see what Maverick's 110% looks like, I guarantee it's this right here. Coming around to the escalator, sweeping past that wall, it just wasn't enough.
So the leaderboard has a new name advancing. It is Pavellos. Killian and Pavellos have booked their spots in the finals. There will now be one spot for 4 pilots to fight for in this upcoming sudden death. Evan, we just showed, and you talked us through, Maverick's point of view of the last heat. Let's stick with Maverick for a second, right? I'm just looking at the overall time so far. His fastest heat is a full second faster than the next closest guy he will now be racing, and that's Alex. Does Maverick know this, and will he play off of that?
Maverick's a smart guy. He really is. He's focused, and he wants to make finals so bad, just like the rest of them. The stakes are high. The seasonal points matter a lot. Killian and Maverick are actually 1 point apart in the seasonal standings right now. So if Maverick wants to have any shot of keeping up with Killian, he needs to make it to finals right now. Alex FPV, he's scared. He's in the battle at the top right now, but if he keeps missing finals like this, it's not going to be a long season for him.
Well, listen, I want you to talk about your good friend, Alex FPV, because when it comes to being a gamer, right, a guy that steps up when basically we think you have to, Alex is right there, I think, at the top of the list.
He really is. Alex FPV, I've counted him out, and so many other people have counted him out throughout his entire life, but he just keeps coming back and laying the hammer down. You know, Alex FPV, he is hot and cold, but sometimes he will surprise you in the most unexpected times. He hasn't been flying great so far today, but you can't count him out. Simple as that.
Semifinal 1, sudden death. Divert Doomsday with a win. 4 pilots are up, only 1 will advance. Alex FPV, red and blue with the early lead. They'll now drop through that Algorand power loop. Alex maintains his lead over Hyper and Green.
Maverick goes down, ending his race today. Alex FPV and Hyper in a battle, and Hyper, who hasn't been much in the conversation, sees his opportunity. If there's any time where Hyper should just give it everything, he's got nothing to lose, it's right here, and that he does, getting a little bit ahead, and goes down!
Guess what? Basically, 3 out of 4 drones now have damage. Singu, the only drone that hasn't so far. So this is going to be Alex FPV trying to maintain his position with some drone damage sustained. Singu right behind him in orange. This is to determine who will move on to the finals as Alex FPV continues to protect his position. But can he hold on? Only a couple more turns. Here's the run. Alex FPV, hot and cold, forget about it. He was just boiling water.
Oh my God! With prop damage!
Good
it's
job,
literally
Alex.
just the luck of the draw, dude. It's just the luck of the draw. Like, just roll the dice and see what happens.
Dude, 3 of you had damage. So
yeah, I literally had damage for a whole lap.
To sustain damage in a sudden death and still win, and I hear you scream, it's just luck of the draw. Is it just luck of the draw, Alex?
I promise you, Miss Layla, this is seriously a luck of the draw. Like, we're going out here, we're just hucking them in there and seeing who comes out first, and it's an absolute... Oh my gosh, it's crazy to see it. Like, if you think the tensions have been high before, like, this season on the sim, the tensions, waiting for this leaderboard to pop up, see who wins, is just on another level. Can't explain it, and I'm just happy to be a part of this whatever you want to call it going on out here.
You're telling me and expressing that you're very happy now, but how are you feeling going into sudden death?
I mean, it's never fun going into sudden death. I think we all know everybody's eyes when you go into sudden death is just scared to death, and I was definitely one of those people there. It's not something that's easy to get through the end. I mean, as you see, we see so many pilots that deserve to be into finals. They're going fast on the track, not making it to finals. So, I mean, that just goes to show how hard the semifinals and sudden death is. And to overcome that, once you get to finals, it just feels like all the pressure's off for sure.
Looking forward to seeing it. Thank you, Alex.
Thank you, Miss Layla.
Well, if you follow sports, you know great athletes create their own luck. Alex FPV, when he needed to, steps up, wins sudden death in 105.209.
Hyper finally gets into position, but takes a turn a little too soon and takes him out of the race as well. Take a look here as Hyper drops into this corridor and starts his left turn to head underneath that escalator. You can see Hyper just in a whirlwind of trouble. Take a look here at the FPV view. Just behind Hyper, here he is approaching the turn. And as he gets close to that turn, he cannot handle it. He turns too early, tries to pre-turn to get the pass, and he can't hold on, clips the edge of the wall, and goes down for the count.
Evan, as we look at Singu's perspective, that just had to be oh so frustrating he couldn't close the gap.
Absolutely. We're watching here in first-person view of Singu, but third-person view of a great battle ahead of him. He stayed strong and consistent throughout the entire race and actually ended up closing in on Alex throughout the majority of the second lap. I was just freaking out over Hyper's pass that he made right there coming under the I-5 sign, and boom, hits the wall. Now it's essentially a 1v1 here between Singu and Alex FPV. Alex knew that Hyper went down, and he knew Maverick was down there too. So I think he started to let up a little bit, thinking that Singu maybe was far back as well. Next thing you know, Singu starts closing in, getting his way closer and closer to finals, but Alex FPV just always figures out a way to hold him off, make it to finals when it counts. I just don't know how he does it. It really blows my mind. So if there's one person to watch here going into finals, it's Alex.
So the podium in semifinal number 1. Here it is. Killian advances ahead of Pavelos and Alex FPV. 3 are in, and we are about to watch 6 fight the good fight. Level 7 is living up to expectations.
Hitting the road, not all 5G networks are created equal. T-Mobile covers more highway miles with 5G than Verizon. T-Mobile has more 5G bars in more places than anyone. Another reason T-Mobile is the leader in 5G.
Welcome to the premier international drone racing circuit. This is DRL, the Drone Racing League.
We've teamed up with Drone Racing League to fuel 5G innovation in 2 fast-growing markets, drones and tech-powered sports.
T-Mobile is building the largest, fastest, most reliable 5G network in the country. And DRL is building a new sport that depends on using innovative technology to create an audience experience like no one has ever seen before.
In the past, the analog video that's come through is not very clear and not very clean. With T-Mobile 5G wireless technology, we get a crystal clear image. Now that the field test has proven to be a success, it's time to build a fleet of these drones and take them to DRL races and T-Mobile events and really show the world what this drone can do.
This is just the beginning, and I can't wait to see this 5G drone take flight.
than 2 decades, Dragonfly has been engineering innovative UAV and AI solutions across industries in the public and private sectors. This year, we have released a new heavy-lift UAV capable of carrying more than 30 kilograms and the versatile Commander 3XL UAV that can accommodate a whole host of payloads, including our new LiDAR system. From landmine detection and EMS delivery drones deployed in Ukraine to our biometric Insight AI, our reputation has been built on our commitment to engineer technology that saves time, money, and lives.
Drone racing has a lot of potential to motivate kids to learn about science, about electronics, about physics, about robotics, about so many things.
At the Drone Racing League, STEM is at our core. Our DRL Academy STEM program teaches students how to build, fly, and code racing drones. We inspire the next generation of innovators through the thrill, speed, and science of our sport. With custom drone kits, flying lessons, coding competitions, and panels with DRL pilots, the DRL Academy creates fun learning experiences that last a lifetime.
Hi, I'm MCKFV, and this is my first season of DRL.
Don't let anybody be fooled. MCK is not a rookie to this sport.
MCK is probably one of the most accomplished racers outside of DRL.
Since beginning, I always wanted to be a champion of the DRL.
MCK is someone we're gonna really want to keep our eyes on. He is a rookie this year, but that doesn't mean he's really a rookie in drone racing.
Like first race, I think I tried to go too much fast. Oh, I think if I don't crash, I think I was gonna beat everyone. I think the only way to get faster is practice. I'm practicing like 3 times more than other people. Making excuse when you lose, that means you didn't practice enough. When I get stressed from school or studying, when I fly FPV with my goggles on, stress is all gone. That's why I really like FPV.
This is DRL, the Drone Racing League. Welcome back to Level 7 LApocalypse. As we've mentioned, 3 pilots have already qualified for the finals, and now 3 more spots are up for grabs as we get set for semifinal number 2. Let's meet those pilots, where they fly from, and the colors to look for. MCK FPV over in South Korea flies purple. Halo Walker in Germany flies pink. Amari in Iowa flies white. Vanover in California flies silver. Gab 707 from Vancouver, Canada will fly yellow. And Seba FPV in the Dominican Republic flies green and white. Those are your pilots of semifinal number 2. We will be back as they will contest 3 regular heats and possibly even a sudden death to find out which 3 will advance to the Level 7 LApocalypse Finals.
DRL is interesting because it's an invitation-only league with an exception. Get onto the league through the sim tryouts. I was like 13th my first year, 6th the second year, and I had slowly been creeping up. Something just clicked with me for the 2020 tryouts, and I knew before they had even announced tryouts that this was going to be my year.
We started with thousands, and after 12 tournaments, we're down to our final 12 players.
I went into it saying to myself over and over again that I was going to win. It's what was going to happen, and the big final tryouts race was going to be a formality.
The final runs to the finish and the final turn. Amari in the lead.
I just sent it, and I didn't look back, and won every single heat every time.
There's no way anybody can catch him. Amari has clinched his spot. No!
It was crazy. My family was downstairs watching the stream.
Dad, that's my brother!
They all came running upstairs. We were all celebrating. And it was crazy. I was crying. I was so happy. I had achieved my dream. I was on the DRL. I had secured my spot. Something that I had worked 3.5, 4 years for, and just fallen short of so many times just by a little bit. I had finally achieved my dream.
Going into this season, I feel like there's a lot of unfinished business from last season. At the end of the day, my goal is to be the world champion, and I'm not going to always be fully satisfied unless I'm on the top spot.
I'm playing simulator till like 1 a.m. and I'm going to field at like 6 a.m. till 6 p.m. I'm practicing 3 times more than other people.
I'm planning to pick up where I left off at last year's Vegas Championship race. Last year was just about survival. This year I'm here to win.
I'm very good at
being there no matter what the pressure is, no matter how many upsets there are. You can always count on a good race from me. 7 years of 707, you know?
I'm pretty confident. I know I can do it. I'm training for this. I'm practicing for this, like, every day.
I'm fully expecting that I'm going to be competing for the top this season, especially with hybrid and everything. It's a really unique skill set required to do well. I think I'm uniquely positioned to excel at everything that we're going to be doing this year.
Being honest, I just want to win. I don't care if I have to train every single day at 6 a.m. I will do anything just to win.
I feel confident in my abilities to beat a lot of the pilots. I've been putting in a lot of work and a lot of practice, so I just feel confident.
These guys literally got their names by racing me. This isn't the first time I've raced them. I'm not really scared to race anybody.
The opportunity to be here is like such a privilege. So many pilots would wish to be here. I really want to show that I'm worthy.
I'm 100% committed that I will win every race out there. So if you like to root for a winner, then you probably should root for me.
To be an elite drone racer is a mindset. It's I need to be there. It's not I want to be there. It's not I hope to be there. It's I need to be there. I do deserve to be in DRL. The amount of time I put in should speak for itself.
DRL fans, how are you feeling? It's time to get excited for a night of drone racing.
I think we're ready for some racing. What do you guys think?
The Drone Racing League, brought to you by Algorand, the world's most powerful and sustainable blockchain. By Dragonfly, North America made and manufactured drone and AI solutions. And by the U.S. Air Force. Aim high. Welcome back to Level 7 LApocalypse. Semifinal 1 is in the books, so 3 pilots have already qualified for the finals, and now 3 more spots are up for grabs as we get set for Semifinal 2. Evan, let's talk about 2 pilots, right, that just jump out of the standings. MCK FPV and, of course, our overall series leader, Halo Walker. Make no mistake, right, if you're tuning in for the first time, these guys are rivals. And as we get deeper into the season, does every level create more tension between the two?
For sure. MCK and Halo Walker, the further they go through the season, the closer they're getting to the end, the less time they have to make those passes in the seasonal standings for that World Championship spot. MCK is currently behind and coming after level 6 where Halo Walker just dominated him. I think MCK is coming in with a lot of motivation. I have had my fair share of rivalries in drone racing in the past, and it can almost be a little awkward sitting right next to each other, virtually or in person, having conversations with this person you want to beat so badly. Moral of the story is, if they can block out that personal relationship and just fly their personal best, that's their best shot of flying to their fullest potential, no doubt.
Let's introduce the pilots in semifinal number 2, their locations and the colors they fly. MCK FPV from South Korea flies purple. Halo Walker, our number 1 in the world in Germany, flies pink. Amari in Iowa white. Vanover, the 2019 DRL World Champion from California, flies silver. Gab 707 in Canada flies yellow. And Siba FPV from the Dominican Republic flies green and white. Semifinal 2, Heat 1. A new 6, sort out the signposts. An early lead for Amari and White. They'll head for that points cash gate. Now it's all about setting up for the Algorand power loop. Halo Walker in pink was there in front for a moment, but Amari's fighting for that spot.
The white and pink drone of Halo Walker and Amari split apart in that Algorand power loop section. It was so interesting to see them come right back together. So although their lines are different, they seem to be about the same speed. But we're coming up on that oh-so-scary lap transition, and these three pilots with MCK included are going to be interesting to see how they pull apart.
Yeah, there it was, and oh, it looks like Halo Walker made contact. He's got drone damage. That leaves the purple drone of MCK well out in front of Gab 707 in yellow, who's in second, with Amari in white trying to claw his way back.
Textbook flying by MCK. He let the other pilots make the mistake and waited to attack. That's exactly what happened, and he didn't have to do anything to find his way into first place.
He'll now go under the escalator and cruise into the finish for an easy win in heat number 1.
Let's go!
Oh, Gab, we had a battle there. Good run, Gab. Good run, Gab.
Man.
Good one.
Let's go!
Whew.
One small bobble.
I saw someone pegged in that Pentagon gate.
Man. Who's our 6th person?
MCK, how good does it feel to get to advance in Heat 1?
Oh, feels amazing. Like, I've been practicing really a lot from yesterday because I flew pretty bad yesterday since, like, finals, but I think it worked. So I think I will just try to do the same thing.
You mentioned that you were frustrated with yesterday's efforts. What did you do, apart from just practice, to readjust for today?
Oh, actually, from like my qualifying runs from like right now, I just changed my line because I saw Halo was doing some different lines, so I just tried it and I guess it worked. So I think I would just try to do like Halo line like for the next races too.
Love to see the adaptation. Thank you.
Thank you.
This is a sport where there's nothing wrong with poaching, something you see another pilot do, and especially as MCK just reinforced. In this case, he took something that Halo was doing and made it work for himself. MCK wins Heat 1, 103.671.
MCK gets the win, but not without a little help. Take a look here at Halo Walker in the pink drone as he makes his approach on the lap transition and swings around through the Pentagon, runs right into the side of it. MCK goes right on by. Let's get into the FPV view of what Halo Walker was seeing as he face planted the side of the gate. You can see he's got a beautiful rotation on the setup and approach, and he starts his rotation upwards, but his momentum carries him wide into the side, and there's nothing he can do about it to pull the quad around the gate. Instead, he runs right into the side of it, and MCK says thank you.
TK just highlighted Halo Walker's view. Evan, this is what it looked like for MCK. He was in a crowd, and then he wasn't.
Yeah, there was a big pack there between those three pilots of Amari, Halo Walker, and MCK throughout the beginning. MCK was actually in the back of the pack, just waiting and waiting to strike, and that's exactly what he did. He didn't have to do some kind of crazy line or do something out of the ordinary. He just had to stay up, and that's exactly what he did. Here is where those pilots make those mistakes. Halo Walker and Amari went down in that lap transition at the escalator section, and MCK just stayed smooth at this point. He has that leaderboard in the top left of his screen, so he knows who's behind him and how far they are, so he just kept it smooth. He just knew he punched his ticket to finals. He's excited, and this is the first time he's beat Halo Walker in a very long time. I know that's very, very important for him, and this could be the first of many wins for MCK tonight.
You mentioned that important victory. This is what it looks like officially on the leaderboard. The purple of MCK FPV takes that first tee and assures himself a spot in the finals. Well, clearly, MCK put yesterday in the rear view, and now the future looks bright. If the other pilots want to win, they need a new formula.
Algorand ecosystem is where monumental change takes shape. So come transform the world with us on Algorand.
It's going to be close. Yeah!
Mortals.
This is DRL, the drone racing. Welcome back to Level 7 LApocalypse. We're getting set for heat number 2 here in semifinal 2. And if you missed it, MCK FPV has already qualified for the finals. Evan, I mentioned a moment ago, poaching from another pilot. It's okay, right, to take somebody else's line or at least try to take it. But how does a pilot do that in real time?
Well, it shows an extreme level of maturity from MCK. It's very easy to think, oh, I've got the best line. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing because I came up with it. It's the best. Well, MCK said it right there. He saw Halo Walker had something better, and it's perfectly acceptable. The way he does it is, after qualifying, the pilots can go and study one another's lines. They can go through the leaderboard, watch in slow motion from different angles, and see, oh, man, that was good, and that's a strength for him, or, oh, that's a weakness. That's something I always used to do to know when I was up against a pilot in a 1v1 scenario. I know he's going to be strong here, I need to push, or, oh, I've totally got him here. MCK did just that and saw that Halo Walker's line was simply just better in that escalator section. He took the line, and now MCK's got the best of both worlds.
Semifinal 2, Heat 2. Angelic mode may be the best setting as it's another early lead for Amari in white. Halo Walker in pink trying to get near the front. He sits in second, but Amari through the Algorand power loop still in the #1 slot.
Wow, Amari and Halo Walker really running away with it here. MCK is already into the finals, so he can fly with nothing to lose. If there's somebody who wants to prove something, it's Amari, who didn't make finals yesterday due to getting beat by Halo Walker. So watch for that white drone of Amari to try and take down the pink drone of Halo Walker.
There's that lap transition. A great job by both Halo Walker in pink and MCK in purple. They did it the best, and now they sit first and second through the algorithm power loop. But once again, Halo Walker makes a mistake. That leaves the purple drone of MCK all alone with the white drone of Amari in second.
This is a mirrored performance from yesterday. Just MCK's the dominant one right now. Halo Walker just can't find his line, and MCK is walking all over everyone, taking it with another win.
MCK goes back to back, and even with drone damage, Amari finishes in second.
Whoa!
Squeezed it out.
Let's go!
Man. Yeah, no. I'd love to watch that back. Yeah.
I thought I might squeeze the second from you, but
Halo Walker, yesterday we saw the leaderboards awash with pink. You were definitely in a dominant way. And this time, the pressure's on you. We know all eyes are on you. You've not quite found your line yet, have you?
I'm struggling with a lot of technical issues right now. My nerves are all the way up there, through the roof. I'm really stressed out right now, and I'm trying to get my confidence back on the track. I know what I can do on it, and I just gotta get a clean run in.
Self-awareness is obviously the first key. You've openly said you're really stressed out right now. What do you do?
I'm trying to calm myself down as much as possible. I know that I'm leading in some parts of these races right now, and I know that there's a sudden death, so I can just push in this next heat as much as I want to, and try to win a heat against Minchen.
And how important is it to see that you and Minchen in the same group right now? What difference does that make to you?
Well, after a pretty much unfortunate qualifying for me, I ended up being in his group, and it's definitely more pressure because he knows what he's doing on the track. He knows how to sweep a semifinal group. He's done it twice already, and it's just really hard to compete with him. He's so consistent.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Not only consistent, but MCK now with the fastest flying we have seen on this course, winning Heat 2 in a time of 102.864.
Keep going back, keep going back. MCK makes it happen when it counts the most. Take a look here as he makes his approach down to the Google Cloud Gate and sets up for the Dragonfly turnaround. And you've got Amari in white in the lead. He pulls a wide turn. MCK and the purple drone pulls on the inside and beautifully makes the pass. Let's jump into a deep dive perspective on what happened on the approach. Here it is, MCK, Amari in white, and Halo Walker in pink. Now watch the turn. Amari pulls into the turn a little too late. His momentum carries him too wide. Meanwhile, MCK started his turn on time and was able to come out with a little more speed. You can see MCK gets as he comes over the hurdle and has the speed as well as track advantage at this spot in time.
Evan, the good news for Amari is his results are trending in the right direction.
That's exactly what Amari needs, and Amari knows that he's got the speed. He had a second there in that last one. Halo Walker's obviously off his game, so if there's any time for Amari to capitalize, it's right here, right now. Going into the sudden death in Heat 3, Amari's gonna be able to essentially practice, trying to see if he can find those extra tenths, find those extra seconds that can win him that sudden death. Obviously, that lap transition just wasn't a clean one from Amari. I have confidence he can do a better one, but if he has those bobbles like that, that's exactly what loses a sudden death for you. Amari should focus in this next heat on just smoothing those things out, and even if he doesn't win, he should have a lot more confidence and poise going into this sudden death. He was able to keep MCK in his sights, if nothing else, and bring home a second, so Amari can't be upset. He just has to keep finding more to win sudden death.
Well, Amari and the other pilots are probably just looking for small victories at this point because the overall victories, they have gone to MCK emphatically as he's 2 for 2 in semifinal 2. The transition to lap 2 is one of the most challenging maneuvers on this course. TK, take us through the maneuver presented by the U.S. Air Force.
The Lap 2 transition to the U.S. Air Force gate has a low ceiling and a blind rotating turn. Pilots start their rotation under the escalator while pitching back to increase elevation and balancing throttle to maintain the turn. The ideal line has pilots bleed speed while starting their rotation sooner, allowing the pilot to remain tight to the turn and result in a faster exit. A full throttle direct approach allows pilots to get to the element sooner, but can cause them to overshoot the turn, swinging wider and resulting in a slower outcome overall.
Do you want to fly like the pros? Download the DRL Sim on PlayStation, Xbox, Steam, and Epic Games. MCK's looking for his third semifinal sweep of the season. At the moment, he can do no wrong.
The Earth is 70% water and 30% land. But the entire sky belongs to us. Copy that. Aim high, Airman.
This year I feel like I have something to prove. Last season was just about survival. This year I'm here to win.
He came into this season wanting to prove he could fly IRL, and he has done it!
The energy with the crowd was amazing. Having them cheer you on and bringing more energy is just what I need.
Halo Walker, the champion of the Race in the Clouds.
I can perform well in front of a crowd.
Halo's line work has really stepped it up this season, and it's paying off huge.
What I love about racing is the adrenaline rush it gives me.
2 for 2.
And the close battles we have.
Halo Walker still just leading Alex FPV.
We have a lot of fast pilots, and it's going to get very heated on the flight deck.
I see you! You mad at me!
I needed you!
Yeah!
But I went down and you didn't.
This is what we call racing. I've described my flying style as risky. So much fun. I'm not afraid to take risks. I'm adjusting my lines to be more consistent, but also fast. I think the best way to improve your drone flying is seek discomfort.
That's not what they're supposed to look like.
And just fly.
Flying good, feeling good!
This is DRL, the Drone Racing League. Thank you for joining us for the semifinals of Level 7 LApocalypse. Here in semifinal number 2, it's still only MCK FPV who has qualified for the finals. Evan, I want you to peel back the layers of Halo Walker's last interview. It's obvious, right? His energy is a polar opposite of last night. Now, how hard is it to compartmentalize those emotions and just fly?
Watching Halo Walker's interviews over these past few weeks and years, he's always very transparent with his emotions. And I think that honestly might be some kind of therapy for him. Maybe it helps for him to talk about how he's feeling, and then he can understand how he's feeling and then apply that to how he's flying. He seems to be a very, very methodical person, and something that is interesting in comparison to other pilots is he doesn't really have this poker face. Pilots like Amari's my biggest example. He seems to always be in good spirits, no matter if he's high, low, flying good or bad. Amari has this almost monotone energy. But Halo Walker, he's wearing his heart on his sleeve, kind of like Alex FPV, talking about how he really feels, good, bad, or ugly. Maybe that helps him. Maybe that helps him comprehend how he's feeling. But he has to be able to pull away and just fly how he knows how he can fly to perform at his best.
Semifinal 2, Heat 3. Pilots, the sun hasn't set on your chances yet. As another early lead for Amari in white, Halo Walker in pink sits in second. Vanover in silver, though, has popped into second for a moment. And MCK in purple, of course, he is lurking.
Halo Walker falls super far back, and he is just not in it right now. If Amari can outrun MCK, this would be a big win for Amari on the mental side and also make the sudden death even more intense for Halo Walker.
Amari in white there in front, but MCK now has moved into the lead in his customary way. That lap transition has helped him to the front. Now through the Algorand power loop, it is all MCK.
If MCK shuts this one down, he's going to go into finals with a lot of confidence. That's dangerous for somebody. MCK is strong on this track, is confident. He just got a little bit of drone damage. Let's see if he can hold off everyone.
It's Gab 707 in yellow in second. He'll be his closest pursuer, but it's too little too late as MCK sweeps another semifinal.
Oh my God!
No!
No.
Oh.
Dude.
Oh.
Our longest reigning DRL pilot, Gab 707, the perfect person to describe to me how you're feeling right now and what happens next.
What happens next? I don't know. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling like I have a bit of the pace. MCK was definitely putting a clinic on for us today, so I'm happy that he's out the way now, and now I can finally express myself and let those second places become a win.
And with your self-expression, what is it about this course that is so difficult?
It's tricky. There's some, the power loop that we have is hard, the lap transition we have is really hard, and the rest is all about keeping it nice and flowy and optimizing the lines. I'm pretty good at the latter part, but those technical elements are really tough.
Gab, thank you very much.
Thank you.
So we look at the results of heat number 3. As noted, a clean sweep for MCK. He wins this time in a time of 104.168. Evan, Gab just did that interview with Layla, and this is what it looked like while he was racing.
Gab 707, us pilots used to call him the Professor. He is a truly incredible pilot, and although he's never been the fastest guy out there, he flies his, I just love watching his style. And he doesn't get caught up in the, I'm getting beat, this is hurting my mental state, etc. He is just so incredibly monotone in his flying and is able to separate how he's feeling from his flying performance. It's a skill that not many pilots truly possess, and you saw here that MCK was within reach. And does Gab 707 push past his limits and crash? No. He actually in this pressure, let MCK get drone damage and allowing Gab 707 to close the gap significantly. As you said, it was too little, too late, but it just goes to show what a true professional Gab 707 is.
So the official leaderboard shows a line of purple at the top. MCK wins all 3 regular heats. What that means is now 2 spots will be available coming out of sudden death. So, Evan, let's start to parse the possibilities. I mean, let's go back to Gab for a second, right? He had 2 seconds in those regular heats. Do you feel he's a lock for one of these 2 spots?
I don't think he's necessarily a lock. He doesn't have the speed to outrun somebody like Amari and Halo Walker on a good run. But statistically, I would say he's got a pretty good shot due to the way that Amari and Halo Walker have both been flying. Each of them having detrimental errors in the lap transition and other parts of the course that are pulling them away from the lead and sometimes taking them all the way out. Gab is showing that he's finishing heats and finishing them well, so statistically, he's got a shot, but if Amari and Halo Walker run a good one, I don't think there's a way.
Semifinal 2, sudden death. A win delays your end of days. You've got 5 pilots up there, only 2 will advance. Another early lead for the white drone of Amari. Vanover in silver there for a second, but Halo Walker in pink trying to get to the front. Amari doing everything right at the moment.
2 pilots already with drone damage, Gab 707 and Vanover. That is not very usual for Gab 707 to push past his limits, but we're gonna see if this lap transition spooks Amari and Halo Walker.
Coming towards the end of the first lap, here's that critical lap transition. Great job by both Amari and Halo Walker. It is Seba, the green and white drone, who is lurking in third, ready to take advantage if the front 2 make a mistake. Halo Walker and Amari, they're popping in front of each other, giving each other a look at who is right there. They should be happy to just stay in those first and second spots. Through the Dragonfly Diamond, once again, the closing moments, they'll come under the escalator. Halo Walker and Amari go 1-2, and they both advance to the final.
God, I don't even care, dude. Good run. Oh, gosh. Man, why? Yes. Oh, my God.
In Amari, we see joy. In Halo Walker, we see relief. That was stressful, wasn't it? Amari, I'll start with you. Walk me through your mind right now.
Man, you know, sudden deaths are wild, and just, you know, you got to fight like you're the third monkey on the ramp to Noah's Ark. It's brutal. You just can't take a breath for a second.
The third monkey on the ramp to Noah's Ark. That is the best line I've ever heard. Halo Walker, do you relate to the monkey analogy?
Definitely. These past 3 heats were pretty devastating to me. I was more stressed out than I usually am already, but I knew that there were 2 spots and I just needed to finish a heat and did it finally.
And now you both go through to the golden heat, shake it all off, start all over again. How do we make sure that pressure, those stresses, those fears and all those emotions don't carry through to the next?
Well, I feel like in finals we have a lot more chances making golden heat with these 6 heats instead of 3. So, I mean, when in doubt, go flat out. That's what I go by, and that's what I'm going to show in finals.
Halo Walker, Amari, congrats.
Thank you. Happy birthday, Halo.
They both knew it was about positioning, not necessarily the time, so give credit to both Halo Walker and Amari for being not only observant, but aware. Their top 2 places advanced them to the finals. Evan, Layla made sure to note that for Halo Walker, it really was just relief, wasn't it?
Oh my, like my heart was beating out of my chest for Halo Walker. The reason this was such an important heat is that if Halo Walker messed up and didn't make it to finals, MCK and Alex FPV, who are both already in finals, would have closed in on him so quickly, potentially even passing him in the seasonal standings. Halo Walker is in full defense mode as far as those points goes, wanting to guard the other pilots as much as possible. So if you take what I just said and imagine that Halo Walker is now in a 1v1 battle with Amari, with Seba closely on his tail, you can just think for yourself what you would feel like in that scenario. Halo Walker, his true professionalism shined through. He was able to buckle down, survive, just like he did in Season 1 of his DRL career. And now he's on to finals to, once again, protect his first place seasonal standing.
This is what that podium coming out of semifinal 2 looks like. The 3 pilots advancing, no question. MCK, FPV moving on, and Halo Walker and Amari saved their best for the gold, for the sudden death. Well, our final 6 are set, and much like a traffic jam on the 405, the tension of LApocalypse is set to increase.
Not all 5G networks are created equal. T-Mobile covers more highway miles with 5G than Verizon. T-Mobile has more 5G bars in more places than anyone. Another reason T-Mobile is the leader in 5G.
A Maverick is somebody who takes the lone path to the top.
I feel great. I'm ready to fly in front of the whole crowd. It's going to be so sick having 6,000 people here.
I've had countless amount of people count me out before, believe I would never get to the big stage, and I've always adapted and overcame that.
From Van Nuys, California, he never runs out of clutchness. Flying the red drone, it's Maverick!
The next step is to execute throughout the season and stand alone at the top.
Only 3 pilots up. Maverick and Red in the lead.
I know how to fly my lines, and I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, and hopefully it's going to play out for me.
Maverick is doing a great job staying in front of Vanover.
Drone racing has always been such an adrenaline rush for me. I've always been an adrenaline junkie. We're zooming around stadiums, courses at full throttle. To be able to have that adrenaline rush is why I've wanted to pursue it so bad.
Do you even know who you're inheriting from, your red color?
You look up to the people who you want to be. I've idolized Gab for years, Vanover as well. They're both very talented drone racing pilots, and I hate to say it, but I think I'm going to beat them this year. I don't hate to say it, actually.
The Drone Racing League, brought to you by Algorand, the world's most powerful and sustainable blockchain. By T-Mobile, stay connected with more 5G bars in more places. And by Points Cash, freedom to pay your way. Welcome back to the DRL Algorand World Championship. We're on the DRL simulator for Level 7 LApocalypse, and we're about to get ready for what is sure to be an exciting finals. Evan, let's just recap, right? It took Hail Marys in both semifinals for our top 2 guys in the overall standings, Halo Walker and Alex FPV, to just make it to these finals. So how hard is it going to be for them to forget that immediate drama and reset?
Well, these are our top 2 pilots in seasonal standings right now, which means if they're the ones who are throwing the Hail Marys in semifinals, it's so nerve-wracking because you know the consequences of not making it and leaving one of your close competitors like MCK alone in the finals just to farm points on you. Halo Walker and Alex, they made it to finals one way or another, and now everyone's on the same playing field. They have 6 heats to figure out how to go as fast as MCK and Killian. So They're here now, and just like Halo Walker said, when in doubt, go full out.
Well, I love part of your commentary because now that we are here in the finals, there are those 6 regular heats that you mentioned. Win any one of them, and you are in the golden heat. Now, once we get to the golden heat, it is winner take all. Whoever finishes first will be the level champion. Let's meet the 6 that have made it here and the colors they fly. MCK FPV flies purple, Killian blue, Pavelos orange and white, Amari white, Halo Walker pink, and Alex FPV red and blue. Finals, Heat 1. A new set of storms are brewing on the horizon. Alex FPV with an early lead. We saw him do that in semifinals, and Amari in white right there in front as well. We'll wait to see if Halo Walker and MCK can move to the front, but how about Pavelos? Orange and white in the lead.
Pavelos, wow, out of nowhere, whatever he figured out in that over-the-bridge section really has to be something that other pilots should look into. Through the Dragonfly Diamond, the pack starts to shorten back up, but coming to this lap transition through the escalator, I'm excited.
There it is, a great job by both Halo Walker in pink and MCK in purple. They now sit 1-2 on to lap number 2. Here's the Algorand power loop. You've got Halo in pink, MCK in purple in second.
Oh, this is definitely a rerun of level 6 right here. Halo Walker wants to sit down MCK again, but I know MCK is just shivering with excitement if he can find a way to get ahead of Halo.
MCK did move to the front. Here they run for the finish, and MCK does take the first heat of fight.
Yeah, let's go, baby! Let's go!
Okay, okay.
Yeah!
All right.
I forgot the
no, we'll
track.
take this.
Yeah!
Just set PB. We'll take that. Whew. Yes. All right. Come.
Dude.
MCK, that was a cat and mouse chase. How aware were you of Halo Walker's location throughout?
Yeah, I was able to see Halo in the second lap, so I was kind of scared, but like I tried to just do it myself. Like I didn't think about anything, and I just tried to do my best. It was super close.
Was there a point in that race where you felt comfortable? You were like, I've got it, I've got it.
Like I just tried to do like super close to like Pershku, the power loop line, and then I think that part is really like important thing in this track.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
No question, the finals bring out the best in these pilots. MCK sets a new course record, so to speak, as he wins in the fastest time we have seen so far, 102.594.
You can have all the confidence in the world, but one turn can change it all. Take a look at Pavelos as he takes his approach to the escalator and around the Air Force gate. He runs right into the side of it. So what went wrong on such a perfect run? Let's dive deep and close to see what Pavelos saw. Take a look at his FPV as he approaches the first turn. A beautiful turn, swings right into the middle of the lane where you want to be, but his approach to the turn going up allowed him to float a little too far off to the right, so then he had to compensate by kicking the drone back over to the gate, and that's where his mistake starts. He runs right into the side of it and lets the victory go on by.
Evan Amari knew he flew his fastest heat so far. Only problem is he's got MCK and Halo in front of him.
Oh my goodness, and what a view he had. I don't know about the viewer, but I had always, in other forms of motorsport, wanted to see what the competitors see. What are they looking at as they're racing through? And with drone racing, that's exactly what we're looking at. You're not seeing any doctored footage here. This is exactly what Amari was looking at through his screen as he was running through here, and that is drones passing through, crashing, going in and out, and Amari on the chase. That's the pink drone of Halo Walker and the purple drone of MCK in that cat fight that Layla mentioned in the interview. They are big rivals, and the Heat 1 is extra important for that confidence and that pride, quite honestly. Amari is finishing up. He wants to be there for when one of them makes a mistake if they push too hard. he brought home a third, which I know he's happy for.
Looking at the leaderboard, remember in the finals, both first and second matter. So MCK has already booked his ticket for the Golden Heat, but Halo Walker, not too shabby, as all he needs is another second to move on to the Golden Heat as well. Download the Drone Racing Arcade, a fun, free, and easy-to-play drone racing mobile game on iOS and Android. MCK and Halo just delivered an epic duel, but don't forget, there are 4 other pilots who want to and can win as well.
For more than 2 decades, Dragonfly has been engineering innovative UAV and AI solutions across industries in the public and private sectors. This year, we have released a new heavy-lift UAV capable of carrying more than 30 kilograms and the versatile Commander 3XL UAV that can accommodate a whole host of payloads, including our new LiDAR system. From landmine detection and EMS delivery drones deployed in Ukraine to our biometric insight AI, our reputation has been built on our commitment to engineer technology that saves time, money, and lives.
Vital Intelligence is a contactless vital sign monitoring platform developed using machine vision and AI. What we've developed is the ability to remotely monitor blood pressure, heart rate, oxygen saturation, respiratory rate, and a slew of other vital bioindicators. Looking at the vasculature of your cheeks is able to see with every heartbeat the blood flowing through your face. The Vital Intelligence platform does these calculations in real time. So within 10 to 15 seconds of being observed by almost any camera, we're able to then provide any user with those valuable biometrics.
I definitely think we're going to see my heart rate increase on the Dragonfly kiosk.
Drone racing can be an exhausting endeavor. The races take hours, they're highly intense, and as our drone racers prepare to endure those conditions, we can help them deliver stronger performances on race day. With this new technology, we're revolutionizing the experience for pilots, fans, and the sporting industry now and into the future.
It's going to be close. Yeah!
What I love about drone racing is the competition. I love that pressure in those golden heats because if I lose, I lost to the very best in the world. And that's something that you can't get outside of DRL. When we're out on the flight deck and we're in an important race, my heart rate is just going so fast. I'm so excited, and it's almost as if the moment the race starts, my heart rate calms down.
Fan over that flashing drone, get used to seeing it at or near the front.
I need that pressure, I need that animosity, I need the other guys looking at me with that intent to beat me. I love all that because it makes me just want to fly the very best that I can. All that matters is how I fly, and if I focus on myself and I fly my best, then I'll win. You're only as good as your last race. That's my mentality going into this year. Keep that energy alive. Don't focus on races that have just happened. Focus on the next one. The goal is always the same, and that's to be the world champion.
Performing when it counted, ladies and gentlemen, that is Vanover.
This is DRL, the Drone Racing League. We welcome you back to the finals of Level 7 LApocalypse. MCK FPV just won heat number 1 and has secured his spot in the winner-take-all Golden Heat. Evan, you've already noted, right, that lap transition and how difficult and I guess event-changing it can be. So does this track set up perhaps the most unpredictable finals of the season?
It really does. The track's dark and it's technical. So the pilots are pushing and pushing, trying to find those extra inches. But with the track being this, having such low light, they might get a little bit closer and hit a piece of concrete or hit a piece of rebar. It's just so, like, finding the line is so difficult on something like this because you're flying an environment that was emulated in real life. So with a track that's so realistic in that way and so technical, it can mean that anything can happen, and as you start to push your limits, you can find it unknowingly very quickly.
Finals, Heat 2. Cut through the chaos and reign supreme. Another early lead for Marion White. Killian Blue was right there for a moment. Now it's Alex FPV Red and Blue who sticks his nose in the front through the Algorand power loop, but Halo Walker in pink is back to the lead.
I'm keeping my eyes on Killian in that blue drone. He had a dominant semifinal, and also his lap transition is one of the best. Halo Walker obviously wasn't happy with taking second in the last one, as he is trying to run away with it.
Underneath that I-5 sign, now the final stage, here it is, that lap transition. A good job by Halo Walker, but a better job by Killian in blue, as he is now right there to rival Halo for the lead. They go through the Algorand power loop. Halo Walker's got a little bit of distance. The pink drone back in front with a cushion.
That's a note right there. That Algorand power loop section is Halo Walker's strong suit, and that lap transition is where Killian shines.
Well, all of a sudden, MCK, the purple drone, making his way to the front. Halo's going to try to hang on. Halo Walker takes heat number 2.
Yeah! Let's go! We're back, baby! Yeah!
One little bump. One little bump.
The monkey's back on the boat, baby!
Okay.
Yeah!
Give me that replay.
Just a second.
Oh.
And just like that, the stress seems to be shaken away. I love it. This monkey analogy is going to continue throughout the entire show, I'm sure. Tell me, what went right for you?
Everything in that one. I knew I was leading going into the second lap in the previous heat, so I just kept my cool, kept my line together. In the previous heat, I almost forgot the track at one bit, and I think that cost me the race. This time, I knew exactly what I was doing, and I think I'm back.
I love it. You're definitely back, and that is a pivotal heat for you. Now, moving forward, what do you do considering who you're up against?
Well, if possible, I'm going to try to repeat what I did yesterday and just sweep the rest of these finals heats and keep as many pilots out of that golden heat as possible. As of right now, we have a similar situation as to yesterday, where the first 2 heats just go to Minchen and I, and no one else is in the golden heat as of right now.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
Halo Walker trying to telegraph his intentions very clearly. He takes heat number 2. Wasn't content to wait for another second. His winning time, 103.425.
Sometimes it's not the hardest obstacle on the course where you take your advantages, but it's the approach too. Halo Walker gains his advantage on the turn approaching the Algorand power loop. His execution through was flawless. He comes out with a lot of speed. Let's take a closer look at what happened through Halo Walker's approach. You can see as he gets closer to the obstacle, Halo starts to set up his quad on the left side, getting ready for a turn to the drop. That's where he gains a huge amount of speed. Now he locks it in with a very tight rotation. You can see how far back in the rotation he is versus the rest of the pack, and that allows him to come out through the last gate with the most amount of speed.
Well, from MCK's point of view, Evan, the good news was he seemed to make up a lot of real estate on the second lap.
MCK definitely seems to be good at that. The first lap, he sits and he watches. He's not trying to run away with it there at the very beginning. He's just there to watch, see where his strengths are, see where the other pilot's weaknesses are, because he knows that he has the speed to catch up when he needs to. That pilot we saw him catch up to was Killian in this blue drone. Killian, so strong in that lap transition, actually pulling away a little bit from MCK. But this is where he goes to work, flashing around that pole, a picture-perfect power loop, and next thing you know, he's right on Killian's heels. Killian does end up with a little bit of drone damage, allowing MCK to have that extra power to get by him, but it wasn't near enough to keep up with the pink drone of Halo Walker, who got that win. Now it's defense time. MCK and Halo Walker, the only 2 in the golden heat. Can they keep it to 2?
Based on what you just said and what Halo said in his interview, that's what the leaderboard looks like. MCK has a first and second, Halo a first and second after 2 heats. They are the only 2 pilots assured of a spot in a golden heat. So I'd love for you, Evan, to kind of explain to our new fans a little bit more of what Halo Walker is talking about with this focus on keeping other pilots out of the golden heat. Is that the best use of his energy other than to just work on continuing to refine his line?
Well, the short answer is that the bigger the golden heat, the bigger possibility there is for you to get a lower position. If you want to have the most amount of points possible, you want to go into the golden heat with you and one other pilot, because that means you can crash on the first gate and voila, you got second place. So he and MCK just won the first 2 heats, and now their job is to get first and second as many times as possible, mitigating their chance of getting those 5th and 6th place. That takes them down in the seasonal standings. So for right now, Halo Walker and MCK are pretty much a team, but once you get to the golden heat, all bets are off and they are enemies.
Finals, Heat 3. Embracing upheaval comes with the territory. They'll head for the points catch gate, and lo and behold, it's the white drone of Amari with the early lead, and the red and blue drone of Alex FPV right there as well. But the purple drone of MCK FPV has already found the front.
MCK must have figured something out there in the power loop section. That's typically where a Halo Walker is super, super strong, but MCK was able to hold him and most of the other pilots off right now.
Don't adjust your viewing device. It's the purple of MCK, the pink of Halo Walker, first and second. Oh, MCK, however, is out. That is going to open the door for not only somebody to possibly win, but at least get a critical second. Halo Walker in pink has moved to the front with Pavelo's orange and white now in the 2 spot.
Halo Walker's playing that defense that MCK couldn't. Halo Walker needs to take the win here because at least that would make for one more heat protecting him from getting another one in the golden heat. Pavelos wants it though, he doesn't want a second.
No, how about Pavelos charging? But look at that finish. Who's got it? Pavelos by 1/100th of a second.
1/100th of a second, come on.
Baby.
Wow.
Congrats, Pavel. That was earned. You earned that.
Dude. GG.
We're in, baby. We are in.
I didn't know you were that close.
Let's go.
Welcome on the boat. Welcome on the boat.
Woo!
By 1/100th of a second, we really do have the most incredible drone racing pilots in front of us today. Pavelos, how precious was that 1/100th of a second?
Apparently it was really precious because that means I'm guaranteed on the golden heat, and for now I'm guaranteed 3rd, so hopefully it's going to stay that way.
How does it feel also to see and hear all your opponents, your competitors, cheering for you and celebrating that because they say that's deserved?
To be honest, I'm too locked in right now to even listen to my surroundings, so I couldn't tell you how much it means to me because I just didn't really hear it.
You didn't even notice it, but they were all saying, oh wow, deserved, and you're another monkey on that boat. Now, as we step forward, how much confidence does that give you?
I mean, that's a really important win because, like I said, I'm locked into the golden heat, so right now I'm just free to push and free to do whatever I want and hopefully lock it out with the boys.
Congrats.
There are the official times, not even 1/100th. It was 9/1000ths of a second. Pavelos wins heat number 3, 104.073.
You've got to pay attention to how much track you've got left, and Pavelos does exactly that, waiting for the right position. Take a look at Pavelos in the orange drone, Halo in the pink drone. Pavelos making a beautiful pass as he rotates around the gate, putting himself into the best position possible. And then here in the hall, Halo gets him back. Pavelos takes it right back on the final turn and all the way to the finish. Let's jump back real quick and take a look at that final hallway. And you can see Halo and Pavelos in position. Pavelos is behind there, but then pulls it out on that final turn to take it neck and neck with Halo all the way to the finish.
TK just noted it, but Evan, take us through the FPV run of Pavelos.
When drone lengths start defining the win and second place of a race, you know it's tight. These drones may be larger than most drones, but they are still very small, and that's how small the margin was between these two pilots. Pavelos started out in third, fourth place, seeing many other drones in front of him. But once MCK went down, my prediction is that a Halo Walker kind of let off a little bit. He's like, oh, MCK's down. I think I can run away from these guys, no problem. And that's exactly where Pavelos took that opportunity to say, hey, I can keep up, no problem, and wanted that first. Maybe Halo Walker thought that Pavelos was going to just ease off, take the second. But Pavelos capitalized on that mindset from Halo Walker and was able to sneak by just that one little drone length. And that drone length is what took Pavelos from a second to a first and a golden heat.
As we look at the leaderboard, of course, Pavelos gets the win, but take note of what he had done previously. That is that fighter pilot mentality. He had 2 fifths, but found a way to win in heat number 3. Well, Pavelos puts his name in the golden heat hat and proves to the world he will factor in how LApocalypse is decided.
The reason I fly is that grind effort that my soul just loves. Putting in all this effort and getting something out of it. Going from not good to competitive, I can't get enough of it.
Alex FPV, he puts it all on the line, and he just loves a good battle.
That felt like drone racing. Good, I love that so much. I'm only here for hard work. As of right now, nobody really has the work ethic that I have in drone racing. I'm not scared to lose. When it comes down to racing, there's a lot of people out there that are scared to put their quad on the line.
Oh, I clipped it. I clipped it.
Well, to me, you can't win if you don't try. For me, in my head, what it takes to win the world championship is dedication, effort, and the will to never give up. You have to love something so much you hate it.
Alex FPV wins level 1.
That's where I think champions are made.
Let's go, baby!
DRL fans, how are you feeling? It's time to get excited for a night of drone racing.
I think we're ready for some racing. What do you guys think?
It's going to be close. This is DRL, the Drone Racing League.
Welcome back to Level 7 LApocalypse. We are halfway through the finals, and already half the field has qualified for the Golden Heat. MCK, FPV, Halo Walker, and Pavelos. Evan, we've talked already about the unpredictability of this course, and therefore it seems, right, it rewards pilots that step up, like Pavelos just did.
He really did. Coming off 2 fifth-place finishes and ending up in a 1v1 battle with the season leader right now, he had to do something different, and that he did. Most pilots will crumble under the pressure, but Pavelos just took it to a new level. If he can keep doing that through these next few heats, it'll make the Golden Heat even more so exciting. Killian, coming off a very dominant semifinal 1, also has a shot. He was right there, and he's just biting at the heels of those top pilots. I think if there's somebody who might sneak in off a really fast heat, it's Killian who can step it up and make it in.
Finals, Heat 4. This canvas rewards converting calamity into possibility. As once again, Amari in white with the early lead. Alex FPV, red and blue, sits in second through that Algorand power loop. Amari maintains his lead, but look at Pavelos. He's coming in there. Amari with some drone damage. That's going to take him out. Pavelos, orange and white, in front fighting with MCK.
What a pack right now. All the drones bunched up together. No one really pulling ahead quite yet. We're getting to a very important section, and look, Pavelos going over those bridges seems to be doing something different, and the lap transition he's figuring out as well.
Well, that lap transition was also figured out and done well by Halo Walker, but he drops back for the moment. Pavelos maintaining that first position. Talk about growing with confidence. Pavelos showing exactly how much confidence can work. Halo Walker has found his way to the front, trying to get back in there, as has MCK. Here they come. Pavelos not giving anything away. Back under the escalator. Who's got it? It looks like MCK.
Yeah.
What?
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go, baby.
That's how
No
we do
way.
it, baby. Let's
go. It's showing me in front, dude.
Yup.
Let's
get it, baby.
Man, 1, 2.
Come on, bro.
Dang.
Let's get it, baby.
Woo. Wow.
And nothing.
That's how we do it, Min-Chan.
Yep.
MCK, tell me, what does this mean to you?
Oh, it was just like, like I'm in the golden hit already, so I wasn't nervous. So I just think this round is a practice. So, but I think Pavelos and me and Halo Walker had a really good race, so it was pretty excited.
Like you say, you're already through to the Golden Heat, so now you're just refining. Is there a particular part of the course that you're looking to refine more?
I'm just trying to do like a little bit tighter line into power loop line, and then also like lap transition line is pretty hard, so I think I have to be careful the line too.
I think if I asked most people this question, they would say that you are their biggest competition, and I'm curious for you, who is your biggest competition?
Oh, I think in this track, I think Piles and Halo is gonna be really hard. Like, also, Killian is getting really fast too, so, the finals are getting hotter and hotter.
They are indeed. Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Just another example of how close this racing is. 14/100ths of a second decided the top 3 positions.
Matters most. Take a look. MCK in purple and Halo Walker in the pink drone neck and neck as they head towards their obstacles. You can see MCK pulls a tighter line on the inside of the turn, whereas Halo just couldn't contend with that. MCK gets the pass and he holds on from there. Let's jump back a little closer to that turn. Watch how MCK puts himself into position. You can see here as he sets up from the Google Cloud Gate, he's got to put himself into the right spot to get the pass, recognizing that he's going to start his turn early into the drop and make the execution through the exit, getting the pass and taking the win to the end.
Evan, Killian's just got to be kicking himself right on some level because he's racing well. It's just everybody in front of him is being better.
It's a really tough place to be. When you finish a heat and you're like, oh man, that was a good one, and you get 4th, it really does hurt. But from an outside perspective looking in, he just needs to keep doing what he's doing. Statistically, these pilots are going to make errors. He may make some as well, but if he keeps doing what he's doing, consistently flying at this high level, his opportunity will come. He was upset that he didn't perform the way he wanted to yesterday. He was showing that he wants that revenge, is the word he used, to come back in today. He's so close to getting it and getting into the golden heat where he can really get that revenge. But right now, I worry he's getting frustrated, and it may affect his flying. But he's close, and he just needs to look at it from a third-person perspective, the big picture, and just know that if numbers do their thing, he's going to make it.
I'm going to take your phrase, big picture, because we show the leaderboard. MCK now has 2 wins. Halo Walker and Pavelos each have 1, but it continues to be 3 in the golden heat at the moment. MCK, Halo Walker, and Pavelos are putting on a clinic. Will it lead to a 3-up golden heat? Stay tuned.
Going into this season, I feel like there's a lot of unfinished business from last season. At the end of the day, my goal is to be the world champion, and I'm not going to always be fully satisfied unless I'm on the top spot.
I'm playing simulator till like 1 a.m. and I'm going to field at like 6 a.m. till 6 p.m. I'm practicing 3 times more than other people.
I'm planning to pick up where I left off at last year's Vegas Championship race. Last year was just about survival. This year I'm here to win.
I'm very good at being there no matter what the pressure is, no matter how many upsets there are. You can always count on a good race from me. 7 years of 707, you know?
I'm pretty confident. I know I can do it. I'm training for this. I'm practicing for this, like every day.
I'm fully expecting that I'm going to be competing for the top this season, especially with hybrid and everything. It's a really unique skill set required to do well. I think I'm uniquely positioned to excel at everything that we're going to be doing this year.
Being honest, I just want to win. I don't care if I have to train every single day at 6 a.m. I will do anything just to win.
I feel confident in my abilities to beat a lot of the pilots. I've been putting in a lot of work and a lot of practice, so I just feel confident.
These guys literally got their names by racing me. This isn't the first time I've raced them. I'm not really scared to race anybody.
The opportunity to be here is like such a privilege. So many pilots would wish to be here. I really want to show that I'm worthy.
I'm 100% committed that I will win every race out there. So if you like to root for a winner, then you probably should root for me.
To be an elite drone racer is a mindset. It's I need to be there. It's not I want to be there. It's not I hope to be there. It's I need to be there. I do deserve to be in DRL. The amount of time I put in should speak for itself.
DRL fans, how are you feeling? It's time to get excited for a night of drone racing.
I think we're ready for some racing. What do you guys think?
This is DRL, the Drone Racing League.
More regular heats of racing remaining. MCK FPV, Halo Walker, and Pavelos have all secured their spots in the golden heat. Evan, let's go back to the start of the show, right? I asked you for a prediction about Alex FPV. Just to remind our viewers, you said it was going to be the cold Alex that showed up. He's made the finals, so at least he's lukewarm. But does he have another miracle up his sleeve?
Well, in semifinals, he was cold for Heat 1, cold for Heat 2, cold for Heat 3, and then sudden death came, and boom, he was hot and he won. And then now here we are in finals. He's gotten 6th, 4th, 6th. He's cold. But now he's running out of time, getting down to his last 2 heats for an opportunity to get in that golden heat. So, as I said earlier, you know, you can never count him out. You really can't. So, I said he was going to be cold, and he has been up to this point. But when it comes down to it, when everybody's watching old Alex FPV, most of the time he just figures it out somehow.
Finals, Heat 5. Revive your resilience as they're through the U.S. Air Force gate, now down to the points cash gate. Amarian White there, Alex FPV red and blue there as well. Pavelos has dropped back, but he surges near the front. It's Killian in blue for a moment there, as well as Halo Walker.
Alex FPV going down, leaving Killian, who really wants in that final, up in the lead. He's got a good first lap under his belt so far. Let's finish it off with a strong lap transition, and then it's time for MCK and Halo Walker to try and run him down.
There's the lap transition, and just like that, oh, Halo Walker has taken himself out. That's the first mistake we've seen him make in the finals. So MCK in purple, Killian in blue, they're 1-2 fighting for first.
Pavelos is going to try and chase down Killian to keep him out of that second place position that's so coveted. I don't know, Killian really needs this one, if not a win. Here goes Pavelos trying to make a move, and he's running out of time to do it.
MCK absolutely back in the groove as he wins another one. That is his 3rd Heat win of these finals.
So close.
Let's go. Let's go, MCK.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Sure.
Wow.
Killian, you seem to be creeping closer and closer and closer. Not quite there yet. All of the weight is on the next heat, right?
Yeah, it remember me the last scenario on the US Air Force race. But yeah, I think I can do it, honestly. I just need to take 1 or second. I'm able to do it. I get a speed, so I definitely will try, but it's pretty hard because everyone is trying to do his best.
You have that advantage now, as you say, to get either first place or second place. Does that take some of the pressure off you?
Yeah, but I also got second place, so I got a good result anyway. But I will try to go in the garden for sure.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Well, just to be clear, what Layla was leading Killian is basically with his 2nd. If he gets another 2nd in the final regular heat, he will qualify for the golden heat. But all credit to MCK because he continues to blaze through this course, winning heat number 5 in 102.509.
Heat 5 gave us Killian and MCK neck and neck. Take a look at the turn. It's MCK who puts himself into position, and Killian just can't hold on as MCK secures the pass. Where did it all start? Let's take a step back. You can see Killian here in the blue drone has the lead up top the walkway, and as MCK is approaching the turn to drop, he starts his turn on the inside sooner. Killian waits a little too long, and that puts MCK into position. Now all he's got to do is finish his rotation exceptionally tight, which he does, and Killian can't get past.
Taking a look at Pavelos, Evan, he put up a valiant fight.
He was trying to play defense the best he possibly could. If he was able to steal that second place away from Killian, it would have been so much harder to get another person into the golden heat. Pavelos did a great job of staying up and not overextending himself and taking prop damage or even crashing his drone. But Killian has to be confident going into this last heat. Another thing about Killian is he also has to be nervous going into this last heat. He's in 4th place right now, and to even have a shot at winning this entire event, he has to get 2nd or 1st in this next heat. So this isn't a just feel it out and see what place you get type heat for Killian. This is a go for broke situation. He needs 1st or 2nd, because if he doesn't get either of those positions, he's stuck in 4th or worse. But Pavelos came trying one last turn around the escalator, but Killian held him off.
Our official leaderboard shows yet another purple win. MCK FPV clearly building on the momentum as we head towards the Golden Heat. Still only the 3 pilots that are assured to be there. MCK, Halo Walker, and Pavelos. Want to support your favorite pilot from home? Just head over to shopdrl.io to grab jerseys and the latest gear from DRL. We are oh so close to the Golden Heat, and these pilots can't afford to lose focus at all. Level 7, LApocalypse, more than living up to the hype.
The Algorand ecosystem is where monumental change takes shape. So come transform the world with us on Algorand.
It's going to be close. Yeah!
Come, mortals.
We're here at the training facility with Gotham FC, and for the very first time, we're going to have the FPV drone on the field with the players as they're training. We're hoping to get some really unique shots and something you've never seen before.
This is DRL, the Drone Racing League. Welcome back. Only one more chance here in the finals of Level 7 LApocalypse for the pilots to earn their way into the Golden Heat. 3 pilots are already there, but Evan, let's talk some stats, hashtag facts, right? Amari and Alex need a win. Killian, however, needs either a win or a second. A lot like we saw Alex FPV, right, do last night in level 6. He got second in the final 2 heats. But what kind of mindset does Killian need right now?
Well, with Killian basically locked into 4th place, he has nothing to lose here and everything to gain. He was saying that there's no way that he can win this event, this race, unless he's in that golden heat. So the way he gets into the golden heat, pretty simple. Get second or get a first. So he has to go for broke here. If he crashes, he's probably still going to get 4th, and that's okay. But if he's able to figure out a way to level up, get that second or a first, then he's got a shot to race with the big guns and maybe even get a race win here.
Finals, Heat 6. In this sport, there's one surefire way to survive. Amari in white, the early lead, but Killian in blue, right there, the closest we've seen him to the front early in a race. Halo Walker has dropped back down, but all of a sudden has moved into second. The purple drone of MCK fighting for second as well.
Amari, we can't count him out. Drone racing, it's never over till it's over. If Amari's able to pull away with a win here, he could be in that golden heat as well.
Here comes the pink drone of Halo Walker moving to the front, the purple drone of MCK. They are changing places as fast as I can list them. But Amari in white continues to send his own message. Lap 2, he leads through the Algorand power loop, and he has certainly given himself a fighting chance.
This is getting scary fast. Amari in the lead, Killian in second. If things don't change soon, we're going to have a 5-person golden heat.
Look at MCK, the purple drone moving to the front. Killian, the blue drone. They are both right there. Killian was looking for a second, and he gets it. MCK gets the win, but Killian will make the goal.
We threw that.
Dude, man.
I 100% want to see that.
Get out there and win these some. Oh my gosh, boys.
We spoke just a moment ago, and when we did, you said, I think I can do it, and absolutely you did. Congratulations on going through to the golden heat. Now, I was watching you whilst you were flying, and you seemed incredibly calm. You don't move much, bar the odd bite of the lip. Did you feel calm in that moment?
I'm not sure if I feel super confident because the other one made it pretty well too, but I just made it. I made what I said, and that's awesome. I just feel very happy to do the rest of the race.
And while you were flying during the race, what emotion did you have then?
There's a lot of emotion happens during the race. I was trying to pushing and just say to myself, do not rush, just do not make a mistake. They can't make a mistake, and I just managed to finish and push a little bit. That was not enough to take the first, but anyway, I took the second, and to second place make me going to golden it.
Exactly, you did enough. Thank you.
Thanks.
Pretty evident how modest Killian. Of course, MCK with another win, but take note of the advantage. Only 3 100ths better than Killian. Credit Killian for doing what he needed to do.
Killian moves into position with force. Take a look here as Killian MCK going back and forth with Amari in white, but Amari makes a mistake on the turn and Killian takes advantage of it. Let's jump closer to how Killian pulled in so tight on that turn. Here he is on the approach, Killian with the pack. It's a tight one as best, but you can see Killian in blue recognizing and already starting that rotation super early. That allows him to pull a little bit into momentum swing and hit the left side of the gate, getting the pass on Amari as he swung wide.
Evan, it was another heat where Pavelos factored at the front.
It was a roller coaster of emotions for me just as the analyst here. I had no idea what was going to happen. After lap 1, Amari, who was 5th place in our points, was in the lead over everyone. And I was like, oh my goodness, and I was just reacting to that. And then at that point, Killian starts to work his way into 2nd, and then we had a 5-person golden heat if the results stayed just as so. It was, oh my goodness, but it came down to Amari crashing here in that white drone. We're gonna see him go down into that Dragonfly Diamond. And that left MCK in the lead and Killian in 2nd. If Pavelos was able to chase down Killian and take 2nd, it would have remained a 4-person golden heat. Boom, there goes down Amari. Here's that blue drone that Pavelos was chasing down, and if he was able to do it, it would have stayed at 4-person or 3-person, but now it's a 4 with Killian in.
Here's that official leaderboard. A lot of color there. It all ends up meaning we will have 4 men race for the win. Every pilot has golden heat dreams. 4 now will have a chance to realize the sport's ultimate goal. We race for the level win when we come back.
For more than 2 decades, Dragonfly has been engineering innovative UAV and AI solutions across industries in the public and private sectors. This year, we have released a new heavy-lift UAV capable of carrying more than 30 kilograms and the versatile Commander 3XL UAV that can accommodate a whole host of payloads, including our new LiDAR system. From landmine detection and EMS delivery drones deployed in Ukraine to our biometric insight AI, our reputation has been built on our commitment to engineer technology that saves time, money, and lives.
Drone racing has a lot of potential to motivate kids to learn about science, about electronics, about physics, about robotics, about so many things.
At the Drone Racing League, STEM is at our core. Our DRL Academy STEM program teaches students how to build, fly, and code racing drones. We inspire the next generation of innovators through the thrill, speed, and science of our sport. With custom drone kits, flying lessons, coding competitions, and panels with DRL pilots, the DRL Academy creates fun learning experiences that last a lifetime.
Hi, I'm MCK and this is my first season of DRL.
Don't let anybody be fooled. MCK is not a rookie to this sport.
MCK is probably one of the most accomplished racers outside of DRL.
Since beginning, I always wanted to be a champion of the DRL.
MCK is someone we're gonna really want to keep our eyes on. He is a rookie this year, but that doesn't mean he's really a rookie in drone racing.
Like first race, I think I tried to go too much fast. Oh, I think if I don't crash, I think I was gonna beat everyone. I think the only way to get faster is practice. I'm practicing like 3 times more than other people. Making excuse when you lose, that means you didn't practice enough. When I get stressed from school or studying, when I fly FPV with my goggles on, stress is all gone. That's why I really like FPV.
The Drone Racing League, brought to you by Algorand, the world's most powerful and sustainable blockchain. By Dragonfly, North America made and manufactured drone and AI solutions. And by the U.S. Air Force. Aim high. Welcome back to the finals of Level 7 LApocalypse. If you've got goosebumps, there's a reason, because it's time for the Golden Heat, and a group of 4 pilots will decide it all. Will it be MCK FPV, Pavelos, Halo Walker, or Killian? And Evan, on paper, it looks like it's MCK's to lose, but he's never won a race before. You're the expert, my friend. Who's winning this?
Well, MCK has never won a DRL level before. That's something that could really motivate him or even haunt him going into lap number 2 thinking, oh, don't mess this up, don't mess this up. Whenever you're thinking about what you shouldn't do, you can get that target fixation and start to make errors. He's definitely the one to watch here, and with 4 wins in this final, I think he's got the to do it. I'm going to go MCK first, and those bottom 3 after that is going to be a toss-up. Halo Walker is trending downwards, not looking great. He may be in a spiral, but he figured it out yesterday, and he may be able to pull it together here in the Golden Heat.
Finals, Golden Heat. Let's learn who will be the revelation of these finals. An early lead for Killian in blue, MCK in purple right there, Halo Walker in pink. As you would expect, we're going to see a lot of lead changes.
Halo Walker taking the early lead after that Algorand power loop section. He is so strong there and is able to make the lead change over MCK. However, this lap transition is where MCK shines and is able to just run away with it, it seems.
Well, here's that lap transition you mentioned. You've got MCK in purple in first, Halo Walker in second. Halo Walker with the bobble. He is gone. MCK in purple now with clean air out in front. Killian in blue in second. But MCK, will this be his first ever level win? He's done the work. He just needs to maintain position.
I know it's rushing through his head right now. Don't mess up, don't mess up. He knows he has Killian on his heels, but this could be a life-changing moment for MCK right here.
Here it is! MCK has done it! His first ever level win! All the hype as a rookie has finally shown himself!
And good shot, Minch.
Yeah! Let's go!
GG, GG.
Yeah!
Great job, Minchan.
Yeah,
Good
let's
job,
go!
Minchan. Good
Absolutely
job.
killed it, dude.
You got
Yeah!
You got 12.
Good race. Good race.
Welcome to the Drone Racing League title winner, champion MCK FPV level 7's yours, my friend.
Oh, thank you so much. Oh, that was most nervous race I've ever done in my drone racing life. 100%.
This is the first time that you've won a level, and in that moment when you were leading, you had Killian, right on your tail. You had Halo Walker earlier before his damage, the damage that he took. You had so much going on and happening around you. I want to know, what were you saying to yourself?
Oh, I didn't, while I was racing, I didn't know what's gonna happen, what was happening. So, I just had to, just full focus on the sim and the track. But I could feel my hands were shaking really hard. So, oh my god, that was the most insane race I've ever done.
Coming into the Drone Racing League, you were someone who had probably one of the biggest reputations. Everyone was talking about you being one of the best pilots in the world, one of the fastest pilots in the world. And now that you have a level win under your belt, does that help you believe that you're as good as you are?
Oh, yeah, 100%. But I always felt kind of not good because I was crashing every time in Golden Hit. But today, I think I'm gonna have really good sleep.
Thank you very much, and congratulations.
Thank you so much.
The most nervous he had ever been in his career leads to his first ever career DRL win. MCK, time doesn't matter, but officially it was in 103.610.
MCK may have had a lot of neck-and-neck close calls that race, but it all started for him early in the race. Take a look at the turn here as MCK drops into the T-Mobile gate. Halo Walker's got the advantage, but MCK takes the tighter inside turn and gets out of the gate ahead. Let's take a jump back and look through the FPV of MCK's drone. As he's approaching, he's got Halo Walker in his sights on the right side. Recognizing that, he pulls wide on the approach and starts his turn early, gets into position, and finds the lead from there. Now it's just a matter of holding off the pack and securing that ever so needed win.
The final podium of Level 7 LApocalypse. MCK FPV on the top step for the first time. Killian with a career best ends in second, and Halo Walker's dream season continues as he minimizes the damage, finishing in third. The U.S. Air Force fastest heat goes to our winner, MCK FPV. Evan, he did it here in the finals in heat number 5.
Mastering a course this difficult is one that MCK has to be proud of. What you're watching right here is art from the eyes of a drone racing pilot like myself. Every turn so calculated, so smooth, and this was heat 5 of finals. He only got more and more consistent and brought home the win and fastest heat.
So how does all that action translate to the overall points? Here are the season standings after 7 levels. Halo Walker maintains his top spot, now by 7 points ahead of MCK FPV, who has moved back in front of Alex FPV, who sits in 3rd overall. Vanover and Pavelos still round out the top 5. That does it for Level 7 LApocalypse. Congrats again to MCK on his first career win. You can follow DRL on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and subscribe on YouTube. For Evan Turner, Tony Niddle, Layla Anna Lee, and our entire crew, I'm Craig Hummer. Thanks for watching. This is a copyrighted broadcast of Drone Racing League Incorporated and may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the express written consent of Drone Racing League Incorporated.